Conscious channeling of LL Research. Teachings of unity, love, and light. This is the Law of One. There are thoughts that are available to all of the individuals who would receive them. These thoughts are available, but they are not necessarily received by all who may desire them. The problem then is to produce a condition in which all who desire the concepts that are available receive them. In order to become available individually to receive and understand these concepts, it is necessary that an individual first initiate a spiritual seeking themselves. In order that she or he initiate this seeking, it is sometimes necessary to provide a catalyst. In other words, if the individual is to generate the proper state of mind so that he or she may achieve an awareness of the concepts that are given to him or her in their daily meditation, then it is necessary that they first be given some ideas and thoughts to generate an attitude of seeking and awareness of truth. Therefore, in order for the individual to break away from the concepts which are primarily of an erroneous nature to which they have been exposed in their present environment, it is first necessary that one verbally be given concepts of a more spiritual nature. This then is the reason for communicating through channels such as this one. This process then builds upon itself as an individual becomes aware intellectually of certain spiritual truths, and since these truths are in actuality within them, but to some degree forgotten, one will then begin to seek on one's own. When their seeking reaches a state where one will be useful in generating intellectual communications of a channeled nature, she or he then experiences what is known as conditioning. This conditioning occurs after the seeking which one performs as a result of one's new awareness reaches a level of intensity high enough to create reception of what I will call a blanket conditioning wave. This is automatic. It is quite similar to tuning a radio receiver, assuming that the reception of this wave is in some way unique, since the tuning necessary is somewhat unique upon your planet. An individual having reached this level of seeking undergoes a transition in their mental awareness. As one moves to this more rarefied awareness, one becomes aware of this conditioning wave. It is of such a nature to act upon them in a physical way, at their desire. The results achieved in meditation are not exactly apparent in a way you might expect. If this conditioning is not desired, then the instrument will not receive it. This instrument receives very little conditioning. This instrument receives conditioning only slightly prior to channeling our communications telepathically. You will experience the same transition. There is a good reason for the conditioning you experience at present. There are many thoughts generated. The thoughts are generated by yourself, by those around you, by those not in a physical form around you, and from many other sources. You become aware of these thoughts as you meditate. In the case of a new channel, it is difficult to identify thoughts which are of a direct and beneficial nature and thoughts which are of no particular value. This conditioning wave is operating at a sufficiently high spiritual level, so that if a thought of this level is brought within the consciousness of the channel, then it is possible for the conditioning to unify or match with this concept. At this point, the muscular reaction that results from the conditioning wave produces an attempt to speak, the first portion of communication that is matched in spiritual quality with the conditioning waves. If the thought is of little value, or if it is not desired as part of a transmission, then it should be noticed that there will be no attempt to initiate this portion of the communication. It is necessary for a new channel to experience a large amount of conditioning in order to separate thoughts that are intended for communication from thoughts that are not so intended. The reason for the long period of conditioning is so that the individual channel may experience the muscular reactions when he or she has achieved a sufficient spiritual quality of attunement for reception. There are many vibrations within this creation. It has been written in your holy works that in my Father's house there are many mansions. This was a statement of these conditions. The mansions or vibrations in which an entity finds themselves is a result of their desire. If there is a separation or choice to be made, then it is up to each entity to select according to one's desire. For that reason, we visit your planet at this time to attempt to help those who would wish to make their choice. There are many who have chosen already, even though they are not aware of it. There will be an experience in this illusion in the not too distant future, which will be alarming to some of the people of this planet. We are attempting to provide an understanding of the truth of this experience prior to its occurrence. Our service is to aid those who wish to choose a different mansion. If an entity has chosen a particular mansion, then he or she will receive it. It is not a good place or a bad place. It is simply a different place. There is no suffering except in the mind of the individual experiencing it. And if one experiences it, it is because one desires it. This may seem strange, but this is how the creation is designed. I am love, and I am Hatonn, and I am light, and I am Hatonn. You are love, and you are light. You and I are the same. You experience one thing, I experience one thing, but yet we are the same. For this is the creation. We are one. That is why I say that you and I are one, and that you are with me. To separate, classify, and measure is not of the Creator's design. To unify, embrace, and love is all that is necessary.